Today's video is sponsored by MangaTun. MangaTun is an awesome app that allows you to read manhwa and manga on mobile. There are a ton of genres to choose from such as action, romance, sci-fi, and fantasy, and the stories are all being updated regularly. So what are you waiting for? Go down in the description below and click the link to download the MangaTun app, check out all the amazing stories, and let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite. Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is ThePromG. Welcome back to a brand new video. Now, what for you guys today is my monthly manga reading log for the month of December. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. This is the last manga reading log for the year of 2020, and thank God this year is over. Now, as per usual, I spent a lot of time this month reading manga, and I was able to complete some series as well as getting some progress on some really amazing series. A really good amount of variety in the series that I read this month, so I'm gonna have a lot of really cool series to talk with you guys about today. But if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so the first 5 volumes I read this month is volumes 5 through 8 of Parasyte. That is the completed series, and as you can tell, I don't have anything to hold for you because I actually did sell this Parasyte set. I thought Parasyte was a pretty good series, but it just wasn't something that I really pictured myself going back to and reading. I think it is a very, very overhyped series in the manga community. And don't get me wrong, like I said, I think Parasyte is a good series, but it's just not something that I think was worthy of being in my collection that I was going to revisit time and time again. I mean, it's just not quite that good. But I did end up reading the last 4 volumes of Parasyte this month, and while I wouldn't say it was the best series, like I've said many times in this video, if you're interested in checking out Parasyte, I would highly recommend you go and read it. You know, it wasn't quite my cup of tea. I didn't think it was amazing. Who knows, you might just end up really, really loving it. The next series that actually completed this month is volumes 1 through 3 of Tekkonkinkreet. Now, if you guys watch my manga unboxing video, then you'll see that I picked up the all-in-one edition and then volumes 1 through 3 in the singles. So needless to say, I got a very healthy dose of Taiyo Matsumoto this month, and I really did enjoy this series. And while this isn't my favorite Taiyo Matsumoto manga, the thing that I really liked about Tekkonkinkreet was the really vibrant atmosphere of Treasure Town, as well as the characters. I thought that they're very memorable and lovable as well. And also, I got to go ahead and mention the artwork in Tekkonkinkreet. Hopefully you can see this 2-page spread. One of my favorites in the entire series. Just absolutely stunning. So yeah, Tekkonkinkreet was one of my favorite reads of this month. While I wouldn't say I enjoyed it as much as Cats of the Louvre and Ping Pong, it's still a very enjoyable series that I recommend everybody go and read. Alright, the next volume that I read this month is volume 2 of Buddha by Osamu Tezuka. I guess I should be holding it this way. This is technically the front cover because it reads left to right, and it's also a lot more interesting than this boring side. But yeah, Buddha is a series that I've been reading at a snail's pace. I mean, I get through like 1 volume per several months. I mean, I don't know why. I'm just really wanting to take my time with this series. But once I actually get around to reading a volume, I mean, I just don't put it down. These volumes are so good, and everything about this series so far has just had me absolutely engrossed. What I really love about Buddha is that it kind of has this Disney feel to it, even though the subject matter in this series is actually pretty dark. But the way that Tezuka draws his characters, I mean, everything is just so exaggerated and cartoonish, but the actual story is pretty dark and very interesting. So while I don't have a whole lot to say about Buddha at the moment because I'm only 2 volumes into this series, I think that this is a very good series from what I've read so far, and I'm looking forward to reading more of this next year. Alright, so the next series I read this month is volumes 1 through 16 of Siren, the completed series. I made a video talking about how I got into manga, I believe a few months ago, and if you watched that video, then you'll know that I talked about Siren, which was one of the first manga that I ever read that really got me into reading manga. So I'm very happy to have finally collected and completed reading Siren, one of the first series that I've ever read, and man, I gotta say, this is one of the most enjoyable shonen series that I've ever read, hands down. Now, there's definitely a little bit of nostalgia that comes into play when I talk about Siren, but I really did enjoy seeing how these characters that I kind of got to know back when I was in elementary school, I really did enjoy seeing how the entire journey spanned out, even though it's technically not the entire series, because I think there was a light novel that got serialized in Japan, maybe. But yeah, Siren was overall a very enjoyable series. What I really loved about this was the characters. I thought they're all very likable, especially the kids, which I was not expecting from a shonen series to really like the children cast. For a battle shonen manga, I would say this series is very heavily centered around the storytelling rather than the fights. And I will say that some of the fights were pretty underwhelming, as well as the main antagonists. I feel like they could have built them up a little bit more to have a little bit more of a meaningful impact on the story. I still really enjoyed my read-through of Siren. I would highly recommend the series to anyone who's looking for a more different manga or a very different shonen series from the typical run-of-the-mill series that are currently being serialized. Now, the next manga that I read this month is the manga that I reviewed in my most recent manga review, I think actually my most recent video. And if you watched that of course would have to be volume 1 of Dog Ningen. Now I won't go too into depth on this actual volume because of course I did that manga review, an entire video on this first volume, but I will say this is one of the funniest things I read this month and probably the most enjoyable, if not one of the most enjoyable things I read in this entire month. This series is just so refreshing in its comedy, its art style, and just the absolute absurdity of it. I mean, there are really no other series that even come close to this in those regards, so if you watch my manga review and this sounds like something you're interested in, I would highly recommend checking out this series. Also, shout out to DH Animations for sharing my video on Twitter. I think the tweet got like 1,500 likes and a lot of retweets, so I appreciate the exposure, and just really funny to see that tweet pop up on my timeline. Definitely one of the funniest things to happen to me as a manga creator ever since I started this channel. Alright, so up next we have a series that I recently started, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to be very pleased to hear that I've started reading this series, as a lot of people think this is an absolutely amazing series. And that would have to be volumes 1 through 5 of Ajin Demi-Human. After hearing other creators such as East Coast Manga and Uchu Shelf rave about the series, you know, I had to pick up the first 10 volumes. I think I picked them up last month. I actually started reading the series this month, and wow, I really did not expect I'd enjoy the series as much as I am. What I really enjoy about this series so far is that, like, within the first volume, I think within like the first 20 pages, you're just thrown right into the action and it does not slow down. And from that point on, it's just pedal to the metal, constant fast-paced action and storytelling, which is something that I'm really enjoying for the series. These volumes are also pretty quick reads, so it's not a huge time commitment when you just sit down and read a volume of Ajin, and I can say that this is a very fast and enjoyable journey the entire way through each of these volumes. Can't wait to keep reading more of Ajin. I'll probably pick up volumes 11 through 15 either January or February. I don't know how long shipping is going to be slowed down from Right Stuff, but we'll see. But as long as I keep enjoying Ajin like I am right now, I'll probably pick up those next few volumes up to date in the very near future. And the last series I've been working on this month is Real by Takiko Inoue. Now, I'm not sure if I started this series last month or this month. I honestly don't remember and I can't be bothered to check. But this month I got up to volume 4 in Real. I have the first 6 volumes, so I'll probably finish this series after I put this video up. But yeah, Real is a very enjoyable series and I'm so glad I started. Obviously, Takiko Inoue is one of my favorite manga of all time, so I had to start reading Real, his newest, I think, or most current series. And you know, as a big fan of the sport of basketball and even bigger fan of Slam Dunk, his other basketball series, you know I just could not wait for more Takiko Inoue basketball action. And even though we haven't seen too much actual basketball action in these first 4 volumes, I'm absolutely in love with the actual story and the characters that are in this series. Real is obviously a lot more mature than Slam Dunk. It really focuses on the characters and as they try to grow and develop and face these tragic losses as they become disabled. And even though I can't directly relate to some of the characters in regards to overcoming physical disability, there are lots of really good life lessons that I've gotten from this series so far. Needless to say, I'm getting a whole lot of enjoyment out of Real thus far, and I cannot wait to read the rest I have. And hopefully the volumes I've ordered up to current will be getting to me in the mail pretty quickly so I can keep reading this series up to where it is currently up to date. And I take back what I said about the last thing that I read this month, because I actually forgot last month and almost this month that I've been reading Mobile Suit Gundam The Origin. I don't know how this keeps slipping my mind. But yeah, last month I think I read volumes 1 through 3, and this month I read volumes 4 through 6 of Mobile Suit Gundam The Origin. Now, this is the first ever Gundam manga that I've read. This is really my introduction into the Gundam universe other than Iron Blooded Orphans, the anime. But I gotta say, I'm really surprised about how much I'm actually enjoying this series. It does get very complicated at times, especially for kind of just diving into a brand new universe that's very rich in politics and science and all that kind of stuff. But I'm still having an absolute blast reading this story. I mean, I didn't expect so much actual action in the series. I expected more to be politics. I think that's kind of the more stereotypical Gundam thing, is just overloading you with politics, but there's actually a surprising amount of action that is really good in this series so far. And these volumes are definitely not very quick reads. It's kind of an all-day affair when I sit down to read one of these, but I am really enjoying this series and looking forward to hopefully completing the series in the coming months next year. Anyways guys, that's all the manga that I read over the month of December, the final month of 2020. Thank God. And I hope that you guys have been enjoying these monthly videos I've been making every single month this year, just keeping track with me and seeing what I'm reading each and every month. Of course, these videos will continue to be staples each and every month in the coming year, but I just want to say thank you to everyone who watches and enjoys these videos. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys in this video. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this, and also click the link in the description for our sponsor to go check them out. I'd greatly appreciate it. Anyways guys, this has been ThePromG. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and as always, hope to catch you in the next one.